Let's focus on what we've seen and heard so far from Rodgers as a Steelers quarterback. And, it's hard early in camp, and you're getting bits and pieces. And I agree with J.J. Watt, his take that we tend to focus too much on what's happening at camp, but what else is there to focus on? It's all we have to focus on. That's the other side of it. We're reacting to the things that we have available to us to scrutinize. Have you seen, have you heard, do you feel anything based on the early returns from Rodgers at Steelers camp?
Well, no, not like anything inside info yet. I've been just following the news just like everybody else. Have I talked to anybody there to get like a inside look and them tell me what's going on? No, that has not happened in my life yet as far as what we're seeing. But you see, like one of his first passes got intercepted and there was all that huge reaction and everything there. Come on. Let's not overreact. I think that's what you're referring to, a little J.J. Watt and what he's saying. It's not going to be perfect right away. There's going to be, it's all around football. There's going to be some things you got to work out, especially when you're in a situation like he's in right there. But I can bet you this, just like with the Jets a little bit, I would bet you, and I'll know this at some point here in the recent future, coming soon in a few days. It's just that, hey,
Whoa, hang on. 1 hour in exactly. And I think you've said that one before, but we have to at least acknowledge it took you an hour to get back to form, and you're back.
I'm back. There we go. There's Chris Simms from the Buccaneers. But, yeah. So, but yes, I think when you see all of that, I think we're going to start to hear glowing reports about, damn, he sees this. They're going to be so impressed with the leadership and things and how he can take over a room in meetings and things like that. So we'll see where it goes. Like we've talked about, I don't know if they've really had a quarterback like this since Ben Roethlisberger, and I think Rodgers is a little different than even Big Ben, where I love Big Ben because he was a little bit like, I don't know how I grip the football. I just go out and play, and I'm a baller, and I make it happen. Where Rodgers is going to be a little bit more behind the scenes on every detail. And I think it's been a while since the Steelers organization's had a quarterback like that, and I expect them to be impressed by that as we go on here.
And the first point I made when his first throw in his first team period, in his first training camp practice, was intercepted, I went back 10 years. This was before we even got started together, where Marcus Mariota was creating these breathless tweets from the usual suspects about how, he's gone X number of practices without throwing an interception.
Yeah, right.
That doesn't mean anything. You want to throw interceptions in practice. You want to test the limits of where you can trust your receivers, of where the windows are. You want to throw interceptions there. And when Rodgers explained it last week, he said, yeah, when the time counts, I'm going to take care of the football. And he's got the lowest interception percentage of all time at 1.4%.
Right.
He's got the legendary touchdown to interception ratio. At times, he's too obsessed with that, Chris, as you've said. Agreed. When we get the postseason crunch time, he's got to cut it loose. But training camp is the time to be loose. Training camp is the time to make mistakes. But the other side of it is, this is the byproduct of the attention that is heaped upon the sport. People are going to react to it because we're paying attention to it. No, and let's put it in the proper context, but let's not just look away from it and say it doesn't mean anything. We love football. We love all we can get of football, and we see reps in training camp, and we're going to react to it. That's just human nature, and that's the price you pay for having the most popular sport in the country.
That's right. Popular sport, one of the most popular players we've seen in football over the last 20 years, a fan base that's starving for playoff wins, all of that. And yeah, it's one of the first throws of training camp, and he's getting to know that Steelers defense there, going, damn, I kind of looked down here and just threw over it here to DK Metcalf, and I didn't realize Patrick Queen was that fast. Oh, crap. All right, I'll have to adjust as he goes forward here. But I'm excited about what Rodgers can do, and there is going to be mistakes, and hopefully this is a time where he does push the envelope, right? I have this, you're going to make mistakes, and then I have my son come to me and be like, Dad, did you see this guy in training camp? He threw a bomb. It was a dime, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, Philip, training camp, a good starting quarterback should throw 4 or 5 bombs that are dimes every practice. That's the way it should be. And hopefully we'll see more in that from Rodgers and the rest of the receivers there and everything he does. But I'm excited for that Steelers story with him.
The other point that J.J. Watt made, and you've made this before too, we have no idea how the specific practice was designed.
Right.
Was it aimed that day at boosting the confidence of the quarterback, making the quarterback look good?
Yeah, right. Right.
There are all sorts of ways that reality can be skewed, especially for any training camp practices that are open to the public. And by the way, one other Steelers note, and I didn't give the control room a heads up on this, so we probably won't have the image unless they're really good. The throwback uniforms that the Steelers are going to wear Sunday Night Football on NBC and Peacock Week 8 against the Packers.
Yeah.
When Rodgers plays the Packers for the first time. Now, he'll be wearing a yellow helmet when he's playing the Packers, so I guess that's fitting. The rest of that uniform should be left in the past for a reason. That, and I'm sorry,
I don't know if I've
when
seen
you have an
this
iconic,
yet. Right.
When you have an iconic base uniform, if you're going to deviate from it, remember they had the Bad News Bees throwback or whatever that was at one point. This is even worse than that. This is the throwback they wore in 1994 when the NFL did its 75th season. And I remember then thinking, what in the hell is this abomination? And it's back for 2025. From 1994 to 2025. That's not it. That is not it. Trust me.
That's
that
the
one's
Steelers
fine.
uniform with the gray face mask, right?
That's the one that should be their regular uniform.
I can't remember
1995 or thereabouts.
Yeah,
they rounded off the numbers. That's the biggest change they've ever made to their uniform since they became a great team. No, you'll know it when you see it. We'll get it. We'll
have
it.
The next segment.
We'll show it to you.
All right.
After the break. But let me tell you, I am not overselling how awful it is.
They're not as cool as this, is what you're saying right here.
Awful.
They're not as cool as that.
Is awesome.
Yeah, Bucks.
This is awful. I promise
matey.
you, when we come back,
okay.
You'll get to see. You'll have to scrub your retinas when you're done, but you'll get to see the awful Steelers throwback uniform that they'll be wearing Week 8 on NBC and Peacock when the Packers take on the Steelers at Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.